So in technical algebra, we do want to look at applications. So let's look at a couple here in this part. These are going to be equations from 7.2. So write the following statement as an equation and solve. So Jake Drury, owner of Jake's Landscape Service, knows that one of his fertilizer tanks holds 4 times as many gallons of liquid fertilizer as a second tank. The two tanks together hold 313 gallons. If both tanks are filled to capacity, how many gallons of fertilizer does each tank hold? So the unknown facts to this problem, if we kind of try to figure this out, is usually the last sentence. How many gallons of fertilizer does each tank hold? So basically, we look at this, tank 1 has how many gallons in it? You can write this any way you want. Tank 2 has how many gallons in it? We don't know. So those are the unknown facts at this point. The known facts is we know that one of his fertilizer tanks holds 4 times as many gallons of liquid fertilizer as the second tank. So one is 4 times bigger than the other. So if I call tank 1 the smaller tank, then tank 2 is 4 times larger than tank 1. If I'm just kind of putting my thoughts down here. And we know that together they hold 313 gallons. So what we're picking up on is the tank 1 plus this tank 2. Altogether, they hold 313 gallons of liquid fertilizer. So what we kind of start to pick up on is if we look at this as our equation right here, we kind of see that we can actually write an equation at this point. Now, we don't want really 2 unknowns, but notice how here tank 2 is 4 times larger than tank 1. So if I call tank 1 X, then, oops. If I call tank 1 X, if you will, it's unknown. So our most favorite variable is X. You can use any letter you want because I don't think it specifies a letter in here. It should. Type an equation using X as the variable. So we do need to use X as the variable. So if I call tank 1 X, then notice that tank 2 is related to tank 1 because it's 4 times bigger. So that'd be like 4X. So what I kind of pick up on is if tank 1 is X and tank 2 is 4X, we know together that's going to add up to 313 gallons. So to me, I don't really need an estimation here. I kind of got what I need right here. I can kind of just run with this. So, if we could actually call this the equation, if we simplify it, we can say 5x equals 313. That would be our equation as well. So I guess that's all we really do is write an equation here. And then we would probably then solve it. So if I want to solve this, I have 5x equals 313. If I divide each side by 5, I don't have my calculator handy, so I'll just do it long ways. But if you got your calculator handy, just use your calculator. So 5 does go to 31 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 comes down, 3 comes down. 5 does go into 13 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down a 3. Decimal point has to come into the problem. So I have to bring down a 0, I should say. Decimal point actually goes the other direction. So decimal point goes up in the answer. Right here. 0 comes down. So 5 goes into 30, that would be 6 times. So we had 62.6 would be X. X represents tank 1. So tank 1 would be holding 62.6 gallons. And tank 2 would be 4 times that. So I don't have a calculator handy, so 62.6 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24, carry a 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Be 10, carry 1. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 4 is 25. And since there's one number behind the decimal, we slide over and it'd be that. So tank 2 would be 250.4 gallons. So I can't really remember if they just want an equation or solve. So I went on and did both. I do know we want to at least write an equation. So one equation would just be, say, 5x equals 313. That would be one equation we could use. And it does say do not simplify, so maybe it even wants to go back one. So maybe they want to write this as x plus 4x equals 313. Since they do say don't simplify. So question 8 says solve this equation, identify any excluded values as appropriate. An excluded value happens if the variable is in the denominator. Since the variable is not in the denominator, we do not have to worry about excluded values here. So all we have to do is solve this. So what I can pick up on is, the coefficient is really this 2/7 x here. So the coefficient is actually 2/7 equals 18. And again, to solve for x, I can divide by the coefficient. So I can divide both sides by 2/7. So what I'm really doing is 18 divided by 2/7. So we can Kentucky chicken fried, if you will, or use your calculator. For Kentucky chicken fried, change division location and flip that to 7/2. And I can write this as 18/1. So when I multiply, notice how the 2 will cancel out into the 18 and make that a 9. 9 times 7 would be then 63. 63/1, or we write this as simply 63. So x here would equal 63 would be our solution to that. Okay, so we'll stop there on those 2 questions.